Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. I am surrounded by dogs right now. They are so, all of them want to be superstars. Here is Boo Radley, if you can see him. Tucker, oh, he jumped down. Tucker was up here too. So we have 3 dogs and they are all of them wanting to be in the videos these days because now PP is always in my videos. Boo Radley thinks he's a superstar at this point. He keeps on going behind me and doing this, digging the perfect hole. Anyway, I was just watching Scribble Read's video about 2018 reading goals, and although I've kind of addressed that in, certain videos I've done in the last week or two, I thought I want to make a specific video talking just about my reading goals for 2018. You guys, there's always one word that I repeat over and over again, so this time it's going to be Boo Radley, what are your reading goals for 2018? Well, I'm still struggling with my B's and O's. So anyway. Do you guys talk to your dogs as if they have voices? Hello. Okay, so what are my 2018 reading goals? Number 1, yes, I do have a dog named Boo Radley. People always ask me that. They're like, is that from To Kill a Mockingbird? No, it's just some other random Boo Radley that's out there in the world. God. Anyway, I should call him Arthur. I've never done that. Mr. Arthur, that's what I'm gonna start calling him. Boo Radley, as you get older, I think that we're gonna call you Mr. Arthur. He's so sweet. So anyway, my number 1 2018 reading goal is my Goodreads reading goal. I'm very, very active on Goodreads. I love it. I update everything that I'm reading on there daily, on a daily basis. I love to go through there and see what other people are reading, and I like to like stuff and comment on it. So if you want, you can go follow my, every time I say this, I get 20 requests. I follow everybody on Goodreads that asks for me to follow them. So I love Goodreads. It's you know what it is? Okay. First of all, so many people are bitching and moaning about social media in 2018 already. I thought, what's that? Lord. I thought 2018 was going to be the year of everybody gets nice on social media. Oh, no. I guess that's not going to happen. We're all going to be rude to everybody again. But the one thing that I love about Goodreads is there's none of that, right? Oh, I like this book, or oh, I'm reading this book. There's no hateful attitudes about it, and I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. And so for me, Goodreads is a really safe, social media thing, because you can go there and talk about what you love with people that enjoy the same things you do, and there doesn't have to be all of this other social media crap, oh, I didn't get enough likes on the picture on Facebook, or oh my God, somebody disagreed with my tweet, and all that nonsense, right? It's just fun. We like to read and we go over to Goodreads. I think it's awesome. So anyway, my first goal is that I am going to read 101 books. That is my Goodreads challenge for 2018. Why, you might ask, 101? Well, last year my goal was 100, and I think I made it to 68, I think is how many books I made or read. And I was really slow in January, February, and March. Had I read the way that I read the rest of the year, I would have hit 100. And I'm still not over it. Can you tell? Because I'm still talking about it. So I was I wanted to set my goal just a little bit higher, so I made it 101 instead of 100. I mean, I could have done 120, but that's not realistic. So, I mean, maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll read 290. Wouldn't that be great? And then my goal next year would be 291. So that's my first goal. My next goal is, and I've already missed this for January because I just needed to not make videos some days and relax, but starting February 1st, I want to make a video every day on BookTube for the year of 2018. Last year, I think I almost made a video every single day, and I would for the rest of this year, my number to be 365 videos for this year, and I may do some twice a day so that I used to. Do you guys remember when I first started this? I did 2-3 videos a day on here. I fell in love with BookTube. I had lost my mind, right? So, anyway, I am gonna post a video every day on BookTube. That is my goal, okay? Now, doesn't mean you get your A+ on your goals. We'll see how that happens. But I do pretty good on that. I post 4 videos on 4 different channels every single day, and people are like, how do you multitask and get all that stuff done? It really isn't that difficult for me. I just love to make videos. The timing is in uploading them and all of that kind of stuff. So that's my second goal. My third goal is I want to try and read a lot of different authors that I have never read before. One of the things that happened in 2017 was that I was introduced to a lot of authors that I fell in love with. And a good example was Maggie Stiefvater when I read All the Crooked Saints. I had never read anything by her before, and everybody talks about her, and I really wanted to, I'm trying to think of, what's the novel? The one about the psychic girl and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, the Raven Boy series. I've been wanting to read that for a long time. Well, I want to be introduced to other authors, you know, like that I haven't read before. I read, you know, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I loved it. And I read Lee Bardugo, Six of Crows. I didn't love it, but I loved his writing, or her writing, his writing. It's a she, I think. She, yes. And there are so many people out there that, you know, I haven't read any of their work and I want to try them. And there's also, you know, like Raymond Carver, things like that I read last year that I just fell in love with the writing. There are so many people out there. There are so many authors that I have never even heard of, or even heard of their books or heard of their works, that I'm really going to start taking suggestions from a lot of people and reading, instead of getting stuck into this area where I only read like the same, you know, like 5 to 10 authors over and over and over again, because then I'm not opening myself up to what is out there that I might fall in love with, if that makes sense. The other thing is I like to open myself up to other genres that I haven't read a whole lot about, and it's really weird. Like, I feel like I'm magnetically getting pulled to science fiction. I don't know why. And I'm not talking about like young adult, like paranormal, like young adult, like world building. I'm talking about like adult science fiction. So many people recently have recommended a lot of that to me. Last year, I think it was the year before, I read a Peter Klein's book. I think it was called The Fold, and it was phenomenal. I loved it. And it was about like these physicists, and they were working on this like door, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody. It is a really, really good book, The Fold by Peter Klein's. And then I read last year, I think it was last year or the year before, no, it was 2 years ago, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and I loved it. And it was about a similar kind of thing, right? And I had so many people say to me, you know, like there's a lot of science fiction that's like that over here. I keep on going like this. Over here, that if you haven't tried that, try it, you know? And so I am going to try that. I am going to try to read more science fiction because I don't know. I might fall in love with it. Somebody recommended on a video the other day, they were like, have you ever read Clan of the Cave Bear? No, I haven't. And 20 years ago, my stepmom was like, this is the best series I've ever read. And it's totally out of character for something that she reads. So I want to try all different kinds of things this year because I don't know what I like. And, you know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I started reading young adult contemporary, and I fell in love with it because that didn't exist when I was growing up. And, you know, I might easily just fall in love with some other kind of work out there. So I don't want to close myself off as a reader, and I don't want to say, like, I don't like this. Similar to the way that I do that with food or music, I've tried to really try new things and take risks as the years have gone on because, you know, like I say this all the time on my Peterisms channel, you know, we only have one life. Life is a gift. I want to try a lot of different things. So graphic novels are another one that I really want to try this year. So I got the Lumberjanes over there, I'm reading that, and I got Mouse over there, I'm reading that, and I'm really excited about trying some of those new things. The other reading goal that I have this year is that I always say that I'm going to do like readathons, and then I start them or I start late, and I don't really fully participate in them except for Booktubeathon. And this year I really want to That was the dog, not me. Boo Radley, my lord. So anyway, after I just said that, that is so embarrassing. It wasn't me, I swear. Anyway, or I would edit it out, and I'm not going to edit it out. But anyway, in 2018, I really want to fully participate in a lot more. I can't believe that just happened. I want to fully participate in a lot more readathons because I love them, and they're so much fun, and I think they're a great way to meet other people, other booktubers. The other thing I want to do is I want to do a lot more buddy reads. I have 2 planned already for this year. We haven't picked out the book yet that we're going to read, but we're kind of like going in that direction. And last year I met a lot of really cool booktubers and, you know, book bloggers just by doing buddy reads. And people ask me all the time, what's a buddy read? And, you know, a buddy read is like when you read a book with somebody else. The other thing I'd like to do on my channel is, and I haven't formally said this yet because I keep on meaning to go to the bookstore and buy 1984, and I haven't done it, but go get your copy of 1984 if you want. I'm going to start doing an online book club on my channel. And I don't really know how I'm going to do it. I think I'm also going to utilize YouNow as this, maybe. Although people that come in there for my YouNow don't typically come from my BookTube channel most of the time for me to do like a reading discussion about 1984. But each month I'm going to be reading a classic that I haven't read, and I haven't read a lot, so that leaves a lot of open, you know? I'd like to read stuff that's kind of that month, so I'm not going to be reading, you know, something really dark and Dickens in, let's say, June. I'm going to be reading that stuff in December, like, you know, Great Expectations and all of that. But in the summer, I have a lot of things. I have a lot of fun things that I'm going to read in the summer and spring, and I'm excited about that. And if you want to make recommendations of things that you think are great spring and summer classics, let me know, because I would really like to know. But I'm going to start with George Orwell's 1984, and that's going to be this month, January. I'm going to go get the book tomorrow. And then I'm going to do a book club every month on here, a classics book club. I may also pick other authors to talk about. I had mentioned in here last week that I was going to start reading this summer the V.C. Andrews series, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I want to look online and see if other people have done like reading groups around this, or if there are questions, or there have to be, right? I mean, V.C. Andrews, I mean, she is such fantastic literary fiction. I love her. I love her old stuff. I really, really do. But now it's like so out of control, and she's been dead for 40 years. Who knows who's writing those books at this point? There's a fantastic documentary on YouTube about the ghostwriter that was chosen to write her stuff afterwards. So I think I'm not going to read the Flowers in the Attic series because I have read all of that. So I think I'm going to start with My Sweet Audrina and then go into the Heaven series. And then it's either Ruby or Dawn. I can't remember which one is next. But then Ruby and then Dawn. And I'm just going to continue to read those series until they get so ridiculous and bad that nobody wants to read them anymore, right? Because that's what reading should be about. It's fun. And yeah, so those are my goals this year. I just, I don't have goals that I'm going to, read, 10 of certain these kind of books or whatever. I really also want to steer clear of TBRs and watch tomorrow. I'll do a TBR or something. I want to steer clear of doing TBRs, and I want to start doing more of just when I'm done with the book, going picking up something that I really love next, or it's really calling to me, because that seems to be how I have found most of the books that I really love. Last year, I had, 2 years ago, been buddy reading with a daughter. He reads The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Last year, just randomly, I was going through my Audible and I hadn't listened to it, and I went and listened to it at the beginning of last year, and it ended up being one of my favorites of 2017. And the same thing happened with The Hate You Give. I had seen a tweet that Jenna put out, and I've talked about this a lot in my videos, and she said something about it, and that night I bought it on Audible and I listened to the whole thing over 2 days. And it wasn't like on my TBR, I didn't think it through, I just randomly went and got it. I was so excited about it, And I want to do more of that because that's how I read in the past, and that's how I found books that I really, really love that spoke to me. I also want to do less book hauls. I know people love them, but I spent way too much money last year on books that I still haven't read, and that's ridiculous. I'm not doing it anymore. So I will do book hauls, and I'll probably do 1 a month instead of 3 a month like I was doing before, because nobody needs to spend that kind of money on books. But I love it because I love books, and I'm going to utilize the library a little bit more, I hope. I say that, and then I never do. I love the library, but I just don't. I get all these books out, and then I don't read them. So anyway, leave in the comment section below what your goals are for 2018 as far as reading. And yeah, go out and get 1984. We're going to start reading that probably this weekend. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.